Today I wanted to share with you a bit of a training update. I've not done one of these for a little while since being knocked off my bike at the start of the year, because I kind of lost a little bit of impetus with sharing stuff, particularly training. And not only that, I found training over the winter quite challenging, being cooped up indoors. I usually like the turbo a lot, but yeah, I was just didn't really feel like talking about it because, as with every year, perhaps more so this year, I work so hard during the course of the year to get myself into a decent condition to do all these types of events, and then I undo it all in the space of about 4 weeks over Christmas because I eat and drink everything in sight. But I had a good time, that was the main thing. Yeah, so like I said, I've had a few things that I've been working towards. The training is always a non-negotiable for me, and so yeah, I've been having things planned into my diary, and I've still been training every day, or most days. And so yeah, I just wanted to give you a bit of an update on where I'm at and just share kind of my mindset going into the Marmotte next week. So yeah, I've had 3 events planned for the year. The Black Rat Sportive, which actually happened about 4 weeks ago now. I got the fastest time last year and was hoping to do so again this year, but it wasn't meant to be, I don't think. I got into the top 10. I know I didn't get the fastest time, but it was a decent event all the same, and a bit of a reminder of how hard these sorts of events are, where you're riding 100 plus miles at a decent pace. So the Black Rat, that's already happened. The Marmotte, like I say, gearing up for that. That's happening next week, flying out on Thursday. And yeah, after the disappointment of last year, I thought I really wanted to give it a decent crack. Last year I'd kind of gone out with the intention of trying to win it, or at least win my age category, but got COVID or some other flu-like thing at the very start of the week, which, although I was fine to go out there, I definitely, once I started riding, knew that there was still something lurking around inside. So that was quite disappointing. So yeah, going out there again next week. I'm actually doing the time trial up outdoors as well. So yeah, that might be the right or the wrong thing to do, but I'm going to give that a crack. And then 2 days after that, or a day after that, I'll have the Marmotte itself on the Sunday. So that's kind of the main thing that I'm gearing up for at the moment. And then later on in the year, middle of August, I've got the Toughest 100 again, which I did last year. I perhaps wouldn't have done it again this year, but I've got a free entry, so I kind of thought I might as well give it a crack again and perhaps try and go better than I did last year. Yeah, so that's what I've got planned in. I might do something else in September, but not 100% sure yet. Depends on holidays and things like that over the summer. So yeah, the Marmotte and my training for the Marmotte, that's kind of been the big thing that I've been focusing on the last few months, and riding the Black Rat Sportive was part of that. So I spent a lot of the winter trying to increase my FTP, doing a lot of high-end power stuff, and to be fair, I was going quite well at the start of the year. Hit a 10-minute PB, but then kind of got knocked off my bike, and that kind of set me back a little bit in terms of that, and I've had struggled with the top end stuff again. Kind of when I kind of was trying to get back into it, after the post the accident. But as we've been getting closer and closer to the Black Rat and also the Marmotte, definitely over the last few months that focus has shifted more into volume and sustained power effort rather than working on trying to increase my FTP. or that high end area, because I don't really need to for these types of races. It's going to be pretty consistent, and it's a case of trying to get around as fast as possible. So, like I say, working on a lot of volume, high zone 2, zone 3 work for long sustained blocks. So for example, a few weeks ago I did a 5-hour session which was 100 miles, an hour easy, was it an hour? An hour easy, and then 25 miles easy-ish, and then 50 miles at mid-zone 3, and then 25 miles relatively easy. And those are long days. That's the sort of thing that I'll be doing while I'm out in France, and it's good to know that I can do that for 5 hours. And in terms of timings, last week I did 17 hours on the bike. I know that everybody doesn't have the luxury of having that amount of time, but in my opinion, if you're going to do the Marmotte and you want to do it well, rather than just riding around and completing it, that's the sort of volume that you need to be doing to condition your body correctly. It doesn't happen every week. In fact, it very rarely happens, but you typically are training between 8 and 12 hours a week to condition your body for the event. And to be fair, I'm feeling pretty good. Fitness wise, I'm feeling good, and I just need to stay healthy, I guess, now between now and next week. Weight, on the other hand, has been a little bit trickier. I've definitely been a lot more relaxed this year with life, and subsequently life has got in the way a little bit more. I've not been as tough on myself with regards to nutrition, but mainly because of the disappointment of last year. So I spent such a huge amount of time training hard and being so dialed in with my nutrition that when I got ill for those few days, I basically undid everything that I did and worked towards in a matter of days. And so I'm not a professional athlete. I'm not racing, for a prize or anything like that. I'm going out there to challenge myself and do better than I did last year. If I win something, or if I can get high in my age category, great. But I didn't really want to go through and sacrifice all of that for there to be a chance of it to be undone in a matter of days. So I've been a lot more relaxed, and actually in my head I feel pretty good and positive about going into the race. So yeah, we've had a holiday, we've had some big social weekends with friends, and there's been a lot more booze. So I am definitely heavier than I want to be, but I'm probably not that much heavier, if at all heavier, than I was last year. I think I'll be around 62 kilos by the time I get out to France next week. Ideally, I'd like it to be 60, but there's not a lot I can do about that now. I just got to keep chipping away at it over the next few weeks and months as I gear up for the toughest 100. But yeah, again, I'm not massively bothered. I feel quite dialed in with it at the moment, so hopefully it'll keep coming down, and I feel good about what I'm doing, and it's not been too strict. So yeah, I think being more relaxed about it is the key this year. So in terms of strategy, then I think last year was difficult because I was ill, but what I've realised this year is that the power that I was kind of aiming for last year was probably unsustainable. So one thing that happened at the start was a mass 500 people starting in your pen, and it's a bit crazy really, and I don't ride with people generally, so riding with that many people in such close proximity, I was quite nervous, didn't want to fall off, and subsequently lost a lot of places in that first sort of 10k, and tried to kind of make up the time, but ultimately put myself into a bit of more of a hole than I already was, and then on top of that I was ill. So yeah, I think this year I'm going to stick to my own power strategy rather than trying to keep up with the front group. I think there'll be groups on the road that I can latch onto, but ultimately I need to kind of stay focused on my power. If those groups are going far too hard, then I think it's probably more sensible that I back off and just do my own thing, because ultimately the gains that I'd make on the flat will be outstripped by the losses that I would make on I would end up having on the climbs, and it'd just be a long horrid day like it was last year. Yeah, so questions, can I win it? No, I don't think so. Last year the person that won it did it in under 5 hours, so there's no chance, I don't think, of me doing that, not 100 miles. Can I win my age category? I think I can give it a good shot, but probably not, realistically. That's the intention, to go out there and do that, but I'm going up against guys that are riding the mountains all the time. I ride in Staffordshire, it's flat as a pancake, so all my climbing's been done on 1 or 2 hills, up and down, toiling away for a couple of hours, so yeah, it's kind of stacked against me a little bit, I think. But I'll give it a good shot, see how it goes. And like I say, just quite chilled about it, and I'll just see how I do. I've got a time trial to do on the Friday as well, which is pretty cool. Not done anything like that before, and that'll be an additional thing that's thrown into the mix, because I've got to manage that plus the recovery going into the Sunday. But yeah, it's going to be a fun few days, and it's good to get back out into the Alps. It's something that we did between 2013 and 2020 before the lockdown. We were doing it every year, and it's something that I really crave. Going up hills, I love just climbing on my bike, and yeah, it's something I crave doing. You just can't do it around here, and it's such a beautiful part of the world. I mean, if you ever get the opportunity to go out there, not necessarily to do the Marmotte, just go take your bike and go and ride in some mountains. I mean, it is such a beautiful, beautiful part of the world. When you get up to 2,000 plus meters, you stop, take a look down, and yeah, it's incredible. Can't wait. So yeah, I'll do another one of these, just a bit of a debrief on the Marmotte and how I get on, and yeah, see you on the other side.